Hello and welcome to another episode of Get on Code. I am your personal engineer, the elevated engineer. At least until this tutorial is finished. Today, we're building our first web scraper. And this is part one of an ongoing data science series. Warning! Warning! This video is intended for public use. Understand, engineering fam, websites use protection against scraping for a reason. So, ladies and gents, please, let's be smart and not get arrested by the NSA. We're going to need to open our URL and extract the HTML code. So, I just want to put some notes in here to let us know that's what we're going to be doing. So, just open URL and... Right, so we're gonna want to import our library, right? URL open library is what we'll need. So we're just gonna import our URL lib.request, and from that we will import our URL open. Okay, so we want to set our URL first. So let's go ahead and do that. We create the variable URL. And we're going to go and actually go to a bunch of predetermined web scraper websites. So I already have the website chosen. You can actually just Google this if just Google web scraper websites, and a list of websites that that are available for scraping will show up. So just really quick, https scraper.io. Okay, so should be webscraper.io /test sites e-commerce all in one, and then we'll set a page variable, and this will open the URL and pass on our URL variable. Okay, so next, we actually want to do our HTML bytes, which will actually read the page and convert it into our standard UTF-8 format. And what that is that basically makes it human readable, right? So HTML bytes equals page.read. And then we're going to need our decode HTML variable as well. So, and this is what we will use to actually decode the HTML that we will be scraping. And finally, we will print it. All right, so let's test that out. Print it. Oh, bytes object is not callable. Got a little error there to add our little decode variable. So it's actually HTML bytes.decode, and you know it's right because Python just gave us the actual decode option. So let's try it again. All right, so there you go. So we have our decoded HTML from our website. Ooh, look at that nasty HTML. All that HTML just showing up. Oh, gosh. Right? So, just so we can test, we want to go to the website. Let's do that really quick. And we see our e-commerce website training. Let's run it again. And it basically just prints the entire HTML. I like to call it HTML kind of the skeleton code, right? But right now, it doesn't really look like that much for those who aren't in it. So next, create a regular expression as regex to actually find out how to search the HTML code for usable information. So now, let's see. Let's go ahead and create a new cell. Right, so I like creating new cells so I can separate these into components and just kind of work my way down. I think it's good coding practice. So anyways, regular expressions. So we need to first import our regular expression parameter library. And again, I'm just gonna put some notes in here. Just kind of, this is going to be a brief summary of using regex. Regular expressions are basically used to search for anything and sort. So these are regular examples. I just got a few examples that I want to go over really quick. Sorting in different kind of ways. And this is for usage purposes, so you can go back and look at this later. So the first example is we're going to be using our wildcard. We're going to be using that to search for patterns in our HTML code using a string of characters. A string of characters. All right. So first, to invoke it, we just have to call our regular expression, and we're going to be using define all variable. I just want to show how this kind of works. Basically, this wildcard variable. So now, let's see. Let's go ahead and create a new cell. Right. So I like creating new cells so I can separate these into components and just kind of work my way down. I think it's good coding practice. So anyways, regular expressions. So we need to first import our regular expression parameter library. And again, I'm just going to put some notes in here. Just kind of, this is going to be a brief summary of using regex. Regular expressions are basically used to search for anything and sort. So these are regular examples. I just got a few examples that I want to go over really quick. Sorting in different kind of ways. And this is for usage purposes, so you can go back and look at this later. So the first example is we're going to be using our wildcard. We're going to be using that to search for patterns in our HTML code using a string of characters. A string of characters. All right. So first, to invoke it, we just have to call our regular expression, and we're going to be using define all variable. I just want to show how this kind of works. Basically, this wildcard variable that we're using, which is this little thing right here. We're using that to search a wide variety of options. So we just created this little variable. Basically, it's going to search how it has A, B, wildcard C. It's going to search everything with A that starts with A and ends with C, and anything between it. It's going to be looking for our letters A and C, right? So in this example, it found it because in this string of characters, A, B, wildcard C, it found A and C, right? So let's try a few more so we can get the hang of this. So we're gonna do find all again. Again, the pattern is A, B, wildcard C. This time we're going to have the string ABCD. This is gonna go in order. It's gonna print the. It's gonna go for the second. It's gonna skip over this first find all. It's gonna go to the second one. You see where it says ABC, right? Notice how it doesn't include D, right? Because D is not in our pattern. So let's try another one. So let's try, I don't know, A, B, C, A, C, right? So it has A, B, C. So it goes A, B, C, prints those out right here. And then it says, okay, oh, I still got 2 characters left, A and C. Those fall in between the parameters of A. It has a start with A, has an end with C. And so it also prints out AC. So we're going to do another one. Find all. Again, same combination. So this time we're going to use ABC. Right? Let's see what happens. Nothing prints out. And nothing prints out because it's find all only looks for string character literals. So because the case is different on this capitalized ABC, nothing shows up. So to alleviate that, because we want to be able to search as much as possible, we can just add simple option RE ignore case. That way returns a list of non-overlapping matches in the string. It just looks past case and just says ABC. So let's see. There you go. ABC is printed because it says, hey, we still got this right here, right? So there are many ways to kind of search. I don't want to go through them all or else the video will be too long. But I will actually, you know what? Let me do one more because this one's actually very powerful. We're going to do find all again. And we're going to do a period wildcard C. And we're going to search for, let's just say A, B, C, D, D, EC. All right. And we're also going to add ignore case. All right. So we see how we only have the period. So the period basically searches for at least one instance of whatever you're searching for with the wildcard added in. So it basically searches for unlimited characters or characters in between A and C, because our string character is A, B, C, D, D, E, C. It searches for all of those. That's in between A and C. This is just to show you how regular expressions kind of work. It's a very powerful tool that should be used quite often. And you will be using when you're doing scraping websites. So the next option is actually returning a string object. We're going to need an object, a string object. Basically, we're going to be creating a string a grouping object to store our actual results for searching. So let's really quick, let's create a variable called match results. And we're going to do a search. Actually, we're not going to be using find all. The reason we are not going to be using find all, because basically search, the difference between search and find all is that search by default looks and returns every possible result that we're looking for. So it's actually more powerful than find all. So ABC, we're just searching for ABC. And then gonna ignore the case again. Right? And then we're going to actually create the group. Because you're going to be parsing through so much data, it's good to group your results for your search. Right? So it just basically the same thing right now in this case. It just groups these results into an easier group, so that it makes it easier to search it. But there's actually like 2 different ways for us to search, and there's what they call are the greedy search and the non-greedy search. So let's do that right now. The greedy search. Okay. It's basically a substitute variable, and it allows you to replace text as a string. And it matches a regular long expression with new text. So let's create a long string variable. So we're gonna just look and just create this. Everything. Place. Basically, what's inside these arrows is what will be replaced greedily, and I will show you what the difference is. So these tags, I'm basically going to be replacing whatever is in between these tags, right? Oops. And we're going to be using the substitute option too. And you will see why that is important. So basically, we're going to create a tag search. And let's just do something. I just put the word elephants because why not? All right. And then we're going to print out long string. Okay. All right. Yep. That's correct. All right. So it prints out everything is elephants, right? It basically took elephants and replaced that in the first instance of the tag. So what the difference between this and the non-greedy is that this one just takes everything in between our tags, right? So the first tag they see right here, all the way to the last tag right here. So this whole thing, right? So our non-greedy method, which actually is a little more optimal. It's the same thing, allows you to replace the tag, but it just works by stopping at each tag in this instance and spitting out a resource. But we're going to use a short string. We're going to call it a short string. It's very similar. Let me just take this down here. Really. Just to save us on time, we'll just copy and paste this. The difference being... See, the difference between the greedy method... Let's just put this really quick. Greedy. non-greedy. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay. Well, what do we forget? Everything is replaced if it's in the tag. That's definitely not right. What we're missing? There it is. We're missing our wild card. Okay, there we go. So it says everything is elephants if it's in elephants. Notice the difference. The difference is with the non-greedy method, once it gets to the first tag and it gets to the closing tag, it prints that out. And then once it gets to the second tag and it sees the closing tag, it prints that out. So basically it stops at each, in this case, tag that says replace and it says tags, and it searches each one. It says, is that in between two tags? And if it is, replace it with the word elephants. With the greedy, it just starts from one tag and goes all the way past this closing tag, past this opening tag, and goes straight to the closing tag. So the greedy one isn't as accurate, but the non-greedy one isn't as, it's not as fast. It's definitely not as optimal. So those are the two different methods. And really that's it for this first portion done. We need to apply it to our actual website. So let's go ahead and create another code, and we can actually kind of bring some of this code down. Let's see, let's get our page, let's get our URL, because we're going to be using the same page, same URL. And still going to need our library for URL lib. And we need our regular expression library as well. All right, so this time we're going to actually create an HTML variable. And we're going to read our page again. Just like we did before, we're going to decode. In our UTF format. This time we're going to be looking for patterns using the search techniques we just learned. So first we're going to, let's just say we're going to be looking for the title, right? So we want to find the title of the website that we're scraping, right? The title code, HTML code. So let's look for the word title tag, and of course we're going to search for an instance, and then we're going to search for all instances of that. Close that tag. Then we want to search again, because we're going to be searching the whole page, for the end tag as well. So let's have our end title tag. We're going to search the end title tag for, we're going to search website for every instance of the end title tag as well. All right, so then we want to match results. We're going to search again for the group, because we're storing it in the group. Again, a match group object. Oh, I think I may have gotten that ahead of myself. Let's search. We're going to search for the pattern, HTML, and of course we're going to ignore case again, because we're looking for everything. Finally, we're going to create a title variable. In this, we're going to store our match group object, and then we're going to be subtracting from our, or substituting, I'm sorry, from our title to partition our results. So again, and we're going to use this to actually remove the HTML tags. Let's put a little note in here. And then finally, if everything works how it should, we'll print the title to show that we have scraped it successfully. So let's go ahead and give it a go. And you see it. It says web scraper test sites. That's clearly the title. But just in case, what I'd like to do is kind of look at it and look at the page source. Now, as you can see, it's not going to tell us the title page because, you know, they want to protect everything. Not a lot of websites want to actually get their title out there. So, I mean, honestly, you could just in this case, I just have it pulled down where it says web scraper test sites right here. We can see the title right here. Yes. That is it. So we did a few things today. First, we opened a URL and extracted the HTML code. Second, we used regex expressions to search for patterns. And finally, we use regex expressions to extract the website's title. So that's it for part 1 of Get on Code's Data Science Web Scraping Series. Woo! It's a mouthful, ain't it? I'd appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe if you learned something from this episode. Good luck, man. Peace.